concerned about trouble and trying to irresponsible, one-sided news stories.
Sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories simply aren't true without checking facts first. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Hey everyone, Dave here, December 1773. With me as always is Ryan. This is episode 27 of the weekly show. If we look a little different than normal, that's because we are super pumped up for the game. If you're watching this on Monday night, you already know what happened, but this is when we're recording this for full disclosure. It's 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock-ish on a Sunday. So the games haven't happened yet.
And it's early, like this is an early recording. Normally we do between 3 to 5 or 6, so we're even shooting early so we can catch the game. But yeah,
both games. And at the end of this, we'll put some predictions out there, and we'll see. It'll be fun to go back and see Monday when this airs at, like it always does, Mondays at 7 on our YouTube channel. Go subscribe by clicking the bottom right hand of the screen to become part of the December Nation
faces every week.
So yeah, we'll put those out there too, and it'll be funny to go back and see how hilariously wrong we were. But without further ado, this is a new 2021, and it's a new United States of America. Because Ryan, you wanted to lead off with I'm assuming the biggest news of the week.
Yep. We're not jumping right in the headlines, but I just figured we should lead with that. This is officially, we are in the 100 days of Biden. Normally the media always paints like the first 100 days to be important. So we'll see. He didn't reveal a plan while he ran for presidency, so now he has to reveal his plan to us as Americans.
Could he possibly just never reveal a plan? Maybe just never really do anything?
Yeah, imagine releasing like your 100-day plan at like day 60 or something.
Day 99. Here's what I'm going to do in the first 100.
First 100 days. And it's all the things you already accomplished. Be like, wow, you're the greatest president ever in your first 100 days.
Did exactly what you said you were going to do.
All right, all joking aside, I got love with you. I did not watch the inauguration. I couldn't do it. I figured I'd see plenty of crap afterwards. And obviously there was the whole Bernie thing, which I kind of want to get into. Bernie became another internet sensation, so I'm glad the guy becomes sensational for bad political policy and as well as terrible wardrobe choices.
I guess he gets something out of it.
But yeah, so
you can steal his nomination, but he can still be the meme.
Yeah, so yeah, Joe Biden's officially the 46th president of the United States. Congratulations, I guess. Kamala Harris has become the first woman vice president, which is pretty cool. She's also Asian. I don't want to miss
Jamaican, I think.
Yeah,
Jamaican?
whatever. She's non-white female VP. Pretty cool, historical. David, you and I, as young millennials here, have experienced the first black president and now the first female president, vice president of color as well within our lifetime. That's historical, pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Other than that, I hate them. I hate their politics. I also got to wonder why was Obama being there such a big deal? And Michelle Obama?
I don't know. Was he not expected to be there? You would fully expect him to be there, right? Like, I'm with you. I don't know why that mattered. Of course he was there.
Well, like obviously depending on who you are, I'll say in our culture or other cultures, like Obama is like their beacon, and as he should be. He's the first most powerful guy was black. That's awesome, truly awesome thing. Like we should all celebrate that. But it's like he holds no sway. It's amazing that they use these people. Like I was thinking about this whole time. It's like that. All the Democratic. It seems like Lady Gaga was there. J-Lo sung, which is whatever. I heard it was a nice performance. Great, fine. Lady Gaga's dress apparently looked like the Hunger Games woman's clothing.
Yeah. What can we talk about? She knew what she was doing. She knew.
You should right now in this video. You should cut that in here to just like flash that image quick, because seriously, it does like. It's kind of weird.
She knew.
It's kind of weird. She had to have known. But yeah, so like this has always been said. This isn't something new, but it really showed this time with how they were groveling with Obama and everybody. Not saying that it's not. I know they're trying to unify us. At least that's what they say. But they're all about the brands. Like the Democratic Party is like the king of brands. You know what I mean? Like they're the ones selling you the politician version of Gucci and Prada with Obama and AOC and everything. Like they're selling you like the hot ticket politician, pop culture, and it's prevalent, like with the Obama thing in particular.
Oh,
it's like a guy holds no sway. Like he has no political power, but he holds political power. You know what I mean? Like he can sway many people to just do whatever, because he'll always be their president or always be affiliated with them, and the same thing could be said about Trump, especially after this. We could kind of get into the downfall of the Republican Party later.
Well, I think a big thing, a lot of politics is very similar to marketing. So I think a lot of this really ultra successful politicians that you see it was really just how they branded themselves or marketed themselves. That's why Trump was super successful in this, because him in marketing, I mean, I'm sure he knows marketing like better than anybody.
Yeah, he like took the Trump brand and like applied it to politics, right?
Sure, and it worked
fantastically.
It did. I mean, he really should. In all respects to Trump's first presidency, it shouldn't have worked. Like this guy should not have gone up against a bunch of seasoned politicians and won presidency. It shouldn't have happened. But he was so good at marketing and what he was doing that he proved everyone wrong.
Yeah. And I don't know if you want to talk about it, but we could talk about like the Trump presidency quick and a recap of his presidency. I know plenty of other people have done it, but I mean, we've covered it over the podcast, so I don't feel like we have to. Like we've talked about the stuff we like and everything. But the change of the guard, Trump did not attend the inauguration. Like I didn't expect him to. Like
no.
And they were saying like it was this petty thing, which, sure, whatever. Let him say whatever. I don't care. I'm not defending the guy. I'm not trying to attack him. But this isn't the first time a sitting president didn't wait for the inauguration.
Yeah.
John Adams had happened with the first one, which is like the second president of America.
Yeah, I mean, let's put it in context though. If I can at least bring some, semblance to the Trump missing the inauguration. If you truly believed, which I think Trump does and a lot of people do, and even me to some extent, but if you truly believed that you had an election stolen from you, would you really go see the person who stole it from you? I don't know. I don't fully blame him if he believes that fully. I mean, if he knows that, or he believes that this was truly 100% stolen from him, this isn't real at all. I don't know. If I felt that way too, I probably wouldn't go either.
Yeah, and it goes even further. I think a little bit too, like the times that he was uninvited for stuff. You know what I mean? Like McCain's funeral comes to my mind right away. Yeah. Or like the times those presidential dinners, like the one he went to, all they did was make fun of him before he was president. So why would he go there?
Well, and that's the other thing too. If you
remember Obama saying that Donald Trump, you and somebody else have something in common, you will both never be president or something. They just.
That's the other side of it too. I mean, if the party that won spent 4 years, not only impeaching you twice, but they spent 4 years just tearing into your character. I mean, Trump's the petty one. Like, really? Would you go? Would you go in that situation? I mean,
I told somebody. I told somebody that if somebody took the naked photos of my wife that she did for a photo shoot and got paid for, and put them on the front page of the newspaper, or if you aired videos about me talking about grabbing women's vaginas trying to damage me politically, out of nowhere, something that's years and years old. Like, if you go through those lengths to try to slander my character and like put me in this bad light in the lens of the political and public sector, then I wouldn't be nice either.
Yeah. So I guess
like,
him not
it
going
showed
is, I could see it. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, this is like going to your ex-wife's new wedding, basically.
Yeah, no way.
I'm not going. Sorry. No, thanks. I'm not going. Have fun. Good luck to you. So yeah, we'll see what the 100 days of Biden bring. I don't want to go too much in inauguration. I didn't watch it. I don't care. Call me bitter. Call me whatever. But I said this the other week and everything else. But 80 million people think they got stolen.
Sure.
Had their presidency stolen from them. So
yeah.
And I just want to say, like, I'm going to make one prediction here, and then we can kind of move on. If things keep going this way, or this new strand of COVID, they say is 50% more contagious, or whatever bullshit statistics they're putting out to scare me. If we keep going this way, those 80 million people, I'm not saying will become radicalized, but that siege on the Capitol is gonna, will be all over America. It's going to be in different ways. It's going to be, people are not just going to sit by while they have everything stolen from them, or if they watch gas start going up, or milk, or eggs, or bread, or if we watch all these prices, or if the 401k goes down and people lose value in their retirements, and if this is a continuous trend in locking the economy down, and I mean, people were already breaking kind of before, the presidency, and especially now after Cuomo comes out. Something quick with Biden. Biden says that Trump was not doing enough before he was elected president during the election cycle. He was saying Trump's not doing enough to handle COVID. People are dying and all this other stuff. And then Biden just comes out the other day and says, we don't have a plan to battle COVID for a few months, basically. And it's not that he doesn't have a plan. It's just that it's like something you can't plan for. You can't just like figure that, the thing's invisible.
Right. Which I would,
state. And,
me personally, if he had said that, with no, here's the other side of this.
Yeah, he would have way more credibility if he was upfront about it, but he didn't. And this is what I'm saying. Like, that's the problem. These people.
Well, not only that, but they trashed.
Go ahead.
Yeah, not only that, but they trashed the Trump presidency because they handled it so poorly, and then they themselves had no plan to handle it, but they said they had a plan, but obviously they didn't because they never said any specifics about it. And now they're in office and they don't have a plan.
The other guy.
Yeah. So now it's your turn. You just trashed the previous guy because he did such a bad job handling it. You better figure it out because you're going to look pretty stupid if you can't.
I think it was like 2 days into his presidency, and they're like, Joe Biden's uniting of America will be the foundation of his legacy. It's like, how are we talking about legacy as a presidency? The guy never laid an actual public plan platform. If you went on his website, it was all the feel-good stuff. We're going to lower taxes, like whatever, build the American dream in the middle of like all the typical political shit you get. Mm-hmm. Like, no 100-day plan like a normal thing. Like, he wants to release his 100-day plan after he's president. His whole platform was this. But that's what I mean. Like, to your point about trashing Trump in the media, whether it was good or bad, we watched you shit talk the other guy for 5 straight years, say he did a terrible job, and then there was always the battle about what was good and what was bad, and we went back and forth with all of our friends and family and society for 5 years. We did this to ourselves. Mm-hmm. And then on the other side of it, you're just like pandering to the new guy because he's not Trump, because you hated Trump so much, or we're told to hate Trump. And those people, I'm telling you, if it keeps going, they're not just gonna go to work on Monday. People are not just gonna like, all right, I'll see you later.
Yeah, I mean, I think
it's not. Really, it's not. It has not. I'm not speaking of civil war or anything like that. The level of public discourse, the small things, I think, like the medium reactions will be like you and your coworkers getting literally fucking pissed at your job, like on your lunch break. Like this stuff I do. That's why I'm speaking on it. Like actually on Friday, a guy and I were talking about politics. He started talking about it, and then I just interject like I always do, and become rude and hijack conversations. And I interjected into a political discussion. This is what politics matters. We need to talk about it, and like whether it's easier, obviously, because I agreed with him, but we need to do this because people are not just going to go to work on Monday. That is only going to go off for so long. People are going to start weighing their options. Like basically, imagine going to work and still losing your house. You know what I mean? Some people are facing that during COVID because things are shut down, and at some point they're going to be like, you know what? I could fucking live on the street right now. They're going to feel my pain. Like I'm doing whatever I have to do to save my family or my lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are only going to go to work on Monday for so long. So I hope we realize that. I'm not even saying that Joe Biden is being malicious, but something's got to happen. And I think we can segue this right into your segment. But I saw a headline that talked about issuing checks to everybody forever for child earned income credit and stuff, and it's gaining traction. Like basically that they would send you $300 a month. So it's a constant stimulus check for people, people with children. Oh, I'm glad only people with children need extra money.
Yeah, I mean they can call it what they want. It's universal basic income.
Yeah, let's just do the goal is to do everybody. They're just selling it. They're soft serving it to you.
Yeah.
This is like the limp-wristed way of introducing and then after 5 years of that, we'll be like, well, we're expanding our coverage to the elderly because Medicare doesn't cover. There's gaps in coverage, and then they'll expand that. And then they'll expand it to something else and expand it. There's nothing as permanent as a temporary government assistance program. It's like, I don't know who said that, but it's some economics guy. I could
Milton
find it.
Friedman, I think.
Yes, you're right.
Double check that. I'm pretty sure it's Milton Friedman. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, there's nothing as permanent as a temporary government assistance program.
Yeah. It's absolutely
I'll leave it off to you, my friend. But yeah, Joe Biden presidency. Let's not sink the ship in 100 days to China, you piece of shit. I swear, this may become an anti-communist Chinese propaganda panel after a while here.
That's okay.
CCP shutting us down.
Let's be clear. It has nothing to do with Chinese people. It has to do with their filthy communist government.
I don't hate all the Asians, just all the Asians that have power.
I've been over this. I love Chinese food. I like Asians. I just hate their filthy communist government. I sent this to you. This is some Super Bowl news. Headlines. Sarah Thomas will make history as the first woman to officiate in a Super Bowl.
She's kind of hot, too, so good for her. Are we misogynistic or just me?
I'll let you answer. I'll let December Nation decide.
All right, I hijacked your headline. Go ahead. Pretty cool. First judge is she going to be like the officiating judge, like the main caller?
Yeah, it doesn't say what she is. I don't know if she's like a line judge or if she's official or whatever. But yeah, either way, she's on the officiating crew.
Cool. Fantastic. So
let's hope she calls it well.
Good job, women, for holding the positions in the NFL that you can probably only be able to hold.
I'm trying to stay away from politics as much as possible currently. They do get political, but I just want to get two that I found pretty funny out of the way. Headlines! Christian OnlyFans model says her faith will not stop her from stripping down to the tune of $200,000 a month. Good for her, I guess.
Praise God, dude.
Praise
God. God is good.
God is good. Apparently, yeah.
$200,000.
Listen, it doesn't say in the Bible that you can't strip for OnlyFans. It doesn't say it.
I'm pretty sure that Jesus liked prostitutes as far as being friends with them. So.
Listen,
$2 million. She's making $2 million a year, stripping down.
Yeah, whatever that math turns. Yeah, something like that. Whatever the math turns into.
Praise God, dude. I hope she's in the middle of Alabama and she's like some trillionaire in some shithole.
She
state.
looks Alabama. That's Alabama.
Wow, she's hot, man. I am a misogynist. Ain't Hey, I'm just a product of my environment, baby. Toxic masculinity.
Headlines. What is going on in the world? Bodybuilder who married a sex doll has admitted he cheated on her while she was being repaired. It's good old.
Did it say if it was with another sex doll?
No, he just cheated on her. I don't know what he cheated on her with. Maybe it was a human. Maybe it was the Christian OnlyFans person. Maybe it was Sarah Thomas on the officiating crew. I don't know.
Way to link all those headlines together. You know what's incredible is that the guy, I'm sure it was a person. So like the sex doll wasn't good enough, even no matter how much he could just he's getting repaired, he blew out his sex doll.
I guess so. I mean I don't know what.
Could you imagine blowing out the doll that's made for a purpose? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how many crash test dummies do they go through? You know what I mean? Like,
a lot.
Yeah, right. So, what's the trend for this guy?
Did he call? Was that under warranty? How does that work?
Oh my god! Is there life insurance for sex dolls?
Are they covered? Do they get like a 336 basic warranty?
Is there roadside assistance programs for sex dolls?
Hashtag powertrain warranty. I don't know what's happening in life.
Oh my god, that guy was drilling that thing so bad it needed to get fixed.
What is life right now? What is our life? We're reporting on this.
Oh my god! Thanks for tuning in, everybody. This is
December Nation doesn't skip a beat.
No.
I had mentioned this before, and she did follow through on this. Headlines: Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene files articles of impeachment against Biden. Something about using his power and family ties and else. Yeah. Either way, it's not going to go anywhere because obviously Republicans don't run the House, so it won't go anywhere. Anything. But I like that. I like that she followed through with what she said.
Good. A little credibility in Washington isn't a bad thing. I failed to mention this, but yeah, Democrats actually have a supermajority, technically. I mean, I know the Senate is split, but I mean, let's be honest here. There's a rhino sitting somewhere in the Senate.
That's right.
So yeah, Democrats have all branches except the Supreme Court, which is bullshit anyways. So, as Jefferson would put it, the Constitution would become a thing of mere wax in the hands of the legislature.
That's a good quote. How did these people? These people all 200 whatever years ago. Every single one of them knew it. They knew it. They knew.
Thomas Jefferson. The tree of liberty must be refreshed from the blood of patriots and tyrants.
He knew it. I knew it. 250, whatever it is. Doesn't matter.
Thomas Jefferson didn't want a big federal government. He wanted like the conglomerates. You know, he basically wanted like republics within the republic, right? He wanted like a California republic.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like they probably have their own capital state and their own legislative body, and
I say it's like it's shocking that they knew it, but of course they did. They just had overthrown a king, so of course they knew that a strong.
Not just the king, David. They overthrew. What was the quote with the British Empire? The sun never sets on England.
Mm-hmm.
That means they're on all corners of the globe. Shut down the most powerful military in the world at the time with farmers.
Does a globe have corners? Are you a flat earther, misogynist?
The Earth's not flat; it's just squished. You know, gravity squishes us. You ever see the models they talk about? If they were to spin a ball at as fast as they said, they're like, "Oh, it would turn into like a piece of paper." But like, yeah, you're not factoring in like the shit in the middle of the Earth.
Yeah, it doesn't quite work that way.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. I was surprised.
A ball of titanium spinning around. Yeah, it's gonna flatten. Titanium is hard, bro.
I didn't expect this from CNN, but I'll give them credit. Headlines: Joe Biden's proposed stimulus checks are a lousy way to fix the economy. no shit. I was just surprised that CNN said that. That's a CNN headline. So, good job.
Well, here's the thing. CNN can now report the truth again because they don't have to lie about somebody else.
But can they? Because they got to protect their own, too.
It doesn't matter, man. Winston can just rewrite anything working for the Ministry of Truth.
I should go back and see if that's still there. I bet the headline's gone.
I've seen two different headlines that talked about how Fauci said two different things about the new strain of coronavirus that is apparently taking over the country. It's in the United Kingdom, which I believe is where it originated from, the mutated virus of the mutation. I know we've talked about this now for several weeks here on December podcast, but Fauci said in one thing that he said the vaccine would not work, and then there was another thing that the vaccine should work. So once again, this entire thing, we don't.
So we don't know the science right now because science takes time.
Well, we're anti-science.
So we are anti-science. But let's just say we don't know the science right now because science takes time. So there's no way to really know this. But in scientific theory, the way the vaccine works is it simulates it's not like a traditional vaccine where it has like a weakened, dead, version of the virus. It uses protein blocks
to trigger
your
response.
Immune system to attack a certain protein. So if the mutation of the virus still has that protein, in scientific theory, it should still work.
Well, right, because COVID is a variation of SARS to begin with, and I don't believe we have a SARS vaccine, right? So if we develop the COVID vaccine, would that be a way to develop a SARS vaccine as well? I don't know. We're anti-science. But
we're anti-science.
You gotta go. You have a good point, David, which is why I think that one of those headlines said that they probably was like, hey, look, even if it is a mutation, it's still the same base root, or I don't know how it works.
Right. But I don't know, and maybe that's the better way to do it. And I don't know if you could do it with the flu, but part of the reason the flu virus or the flu vaccine is so ineffective is because the virus mutates and you're getting the old mutation of the virus. So your immune system sees a new mutation of the virus and says, I don't know what the hell this thing is. So really your body just fights off the flu like it would anyway. So really the flu vaccine is, in my opinion, based on statistics, this isn't just a guess, the flu vaccine is pretty useless.
Yeah, but probably maybe older people should get it, right? Like immune, like immune compromised, or maybe it helps those people more.
Yeah,
and I think especially with the flu, and I think we're going to get this with corona too, is that I think a large portion of that failure to work is just that they're giving vaccines to people that would have naturally fought it off anyways.
Yeah, and that's why when I said, and
I'm relatively healthy, I should be able to fight off the flu, even if it is a bad flu. It will suck, I'm sure, but I should be able to handle the flu.
Yeah,
but
the other
Andrew Cuomo's executive order, you would just throw me in jail with the flu. So, it's not going to stop the COVID people.
The other thing about the COVID vaccine that I find interesting, they don't know yet. Again, science takes time. They don't know yet if you can still transmit the disease if you have the vaccine. And if that's the case, if you're a young, healthy person, that gives you even less reason to get. Because really, the only reason a young, relatively healthy person would get the vaccine is because at least you can't transmit it. So at least you're doing your part for somebody else. But if that's not even true, then why the hell would I get one? Because I'm going to fight the thing off.
Yeah, it's weird that we've turned this into this social thing, like that. We have to worry about I'm worrying about other people's health by what I do. And most people don't even worry about their own health.
Sure. Well, to be fair, at least the way I see it, I've always said this about the masks, whatever the statistic is. I mean, if I can wear a mask and someone helps somebody else, I'll do it. It's fine. I don't agree with mandates, but I'll do it just because, whatever. I feel like I'm doing something good. But if the vaccine, if it doesn't, and I don't think anybody should feel forced to do something because it's good for somebody else. I don't think that's their responsibility. If you want to do it, it's great. But yeah, if the vaccine doesn't stop you from transmitting anything, there's no way in hell I would get one, because why would I? I don't know.
Because David, you think you're healthy enough that you would leverage your health?
I watched President Trump beat coronavirus. He's however many years old, and he's ultra
Drinks 12
fat.
Diet Cokes a day, right? That's
He's outrageously out of shape.
unhealthy. Unhealthy.
And he
Healthiest president
blasted
ever.
through it in like less than a week. So yeah, I feel fairly confident I could beat it.
That's a good point, David, and also hilarious. I just want to round back to your federal mask mandate. Joe Biden headlines. Joe Biden executive action when he first, one of his 40 executive actions. Sounds like unity to me when you're just signing things with a pen. Was to enforce a federal mask mandate on all federal government property across America. And then Joe Biden was later seen celebrating without his mask after his victory.
That's right. And we got more about that.
Just like the lockdowns that people all over, like the mayor of California had or Nancy Pelosi had, they are later then caught at places in like Hawaii, or Nancy Pelosi at a salon, and do as I say, not as I do. This is let them eat cake. You know, one thing I'll say about Trump, at least Trump wasn't like, yeah, I'm forcing you to stay inside. The guy was flying all over the place, not giving one single fuck. Trump didn't give a fuck either, and it made people not give a fuck maybe, but at least I didn't have a president that was not giving a fuck and telling me to give a fuck. Like Joe Biden is telling me to give a fuck and then not giving a fuck. Like, it's not consistent. At least Trump was consistent with the mask thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you should wear a mask, but fuck them. You know? Florida's always warm. It won't kill corona.
Speaking of some executive orders, one of them, if I'm not mistaken, was to get us back into the Paris Climate Accord.
That sounds great. Leverage our whole economy based on the...
But here's a headline. Headlines! The UN, of all people, makes the case for the U.S. to stay out of the Paris Climate Accord.
Ooh.
I don't know if you know this, but we lowered our carbon footprint more than any country that was in the Paris Climate Agreement while we were out of it. With science-denying President Trump at the helm, too.
David, what helped with that? Was it something that they produced in your state of Pennsylvania?
Yes.
Heard a statistic. Keystone Pipeline is getting shut down as well. One of Biden's executive actions to save the environment. This is such a complex thing to say. Like to kind of, I'll try though. It's amazing to me. Like multiple things can be true at the same time, but at some point you do have to pick. Like, do you want to go to war to secure our oil in the Middle East, or have oil in America so we don't have to have wars? Trump was the only president to never start a new war under his presidency in the last 5 presidents. Modern history. He actually signed peace deals under his presidency. I know it took 10 years, but
those
they
are
were
going to
under,
go away.
those were under his presidency. So yeah, would you rather have war to secure oil or kill some frogs or some Native American land so that we can have reasonably priced gas so that everything in our economy doesn't go up? So I don't know if people realize this, but everything is transported to your shelves by tractor trailers. So if the cost to drive that truck to Walmart is more money, the stuff in the truck is going to cost more money. So this will have not only a devastating ripple effect across our economy, but any economy, you know, quite frankly, anything with oil.
Yeah, because now instead of running it through a pipe, you're going to export it over the seas on a ship.
Which would increase our global footprint, right, David?
Correct, because believe it or not, it's not a sailboat. It is powered by fuel. Diesel, probably. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they think this is better. I mean, there's no possible... You couldn't possibly make... You couldn't even make... Throw the economic thing out the window, because the economic argument is terrible for shutting it down. Well, we already know that. But you couldn't even make an environmentalist...
Anti-economics. If we're anti-science, they're anti-economics, which is way more important to fucking say than the environment. Sure. I don't care about the environment as much as I care about keeping our lights on as a country and make them affordable so that people don't have to steal and kill each other to stay alive.
Sure.
Like that is keeping society is way more important. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, but we know all that. let's throw that out. Let's say that doesn't even matter, which it does. Of course, it does. You can't even make an environmental argument. There's no way this is better for the environment. How is it possibly better for the environment than going over to the Middle East, probably getting into a war over it because you're not going to buy it off them, and then you're going to have to ship it over here on a big boat that runs on diesel?
What do you mean, David? They have all the oil. Why wouldn't they just sell it to us? We're rich. Oh, I think they want the oil to become a developed nation. Oh, that's weird. It's weird. It's almost like it's a path to prosperity.
Well, not only that, but you're giving them the upper hand because now they sell it to us. They export it to us. They set their prices.
Supply and demand.
And if
it sounds like economic theory.
What happens if we do get into a war with them? How do they cripple us? You shoot up the price of the oil. Where are you going to get it from? You got to get it from them.
Doesn't matter. It's not important.
So there's not an economic argument. There's no environmental friendly argument. It's a terrible idea on all fronts.
And Canada is getting involved because I'm pretty sure it was part of the new trade deal between Mexico, Canada, and the United States. That pipeline is providing for both countries.
Sure.
And Canada's interests are. I went to Canada before the coronavirus pandemic. Even with our exchange rate, which is for every $3 you spend, it was $1.30 something, $1.33, 333, whatever. Mm-hmm. So every fourth dollar I spent was a free buck. You know what I mean? Which is a lot of money when you spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. And even then, gas was still a little bit more. I didn't even buy gas in Canada. I had enough gas to make it to the States and get home. And then I filled back up. But gas was still cheaper here then. But yeah, Canada's trying to secure its interests too. I mean, sure. Whether we want to admit or not, like oil right now is the way to keep going. And oil's got to be used for us to build the systems to switch off oil. Fine. That's fine. But we can't just turn off the tap.
Yeah,
tap the oil, man. And you know what? Maybe there might come a point. I mean, when you think about it, I'm going to tie this into Bill Gates a little bit with his foundation. At some point you might need the oil, and we might not use it per se as a nation, but then we could sell it to Africa or these other nations that need to get developed, and we can use our oil supply to feed the third world to get them a higher standard. Maybe that could be a business model for the United States down the line. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, oil. The great things about oil is that, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think you're making electric panels without going through the oil process first. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to be able to just print electric panels and then deliver it to Africa.
Yeah, not anytime soon.
Yeah, they don't have a railroad in Africa. You know what I mean? Like, they don't even have the infrastructure to get solar panels and make electricity. Like, they have to start all over. We have to do reconstruction in these poor nations, which is what everybody is so worried about, is the other areas of the world. Like, one of Biden's first executive orders was dealing with immigration policy. We have 40 million people in America without a job right now, and one of your first things is you're worried about is the immigration policies. Even if they're a mess, I thought we're supposed to be uniting and having conversations. You're stopping the construction of the border wall. There was apparently 80 million people in America believed with a border wall.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the unity? We want the wall. I want the wall. And if the wall's a dumb idea, let's talk about how we can have both some kind of wall that's not a dumb idea, and then whatever the fuck you want. But no, he signs a way to have a path of citizenship for 10 or 11 million people, I read. He has a path to citizenship in 7 years. To put that in perspective, 11 million people is about 10% of the voting bloc that voted for Donald Trump or Joe Biden this past election cycle. So if 11 million people all vote Democrat, which I know doesn't happen, but they're going to be more likely to, I mean, what the hell? You have an extra 10% to your voting base? I mean, is this how you kill a country? Was with immigration? And there's migrant caravans heading to America.
Mm-hmm.
Biden's telling them, turn back, you're going to go away. They're not going to turn them away. They're going to put them in the cages, right? The Trump-Biden cages?
No, those must be gone. Those surely, out of the 40 executive orders, that must have been one of them.
I mean, give me a break. People, I remember when Trump was doing it too, because Trump did the executive action thing.
Sure. To be clear, every president in remote modern history.
Yeah, but they say it's gutting democracy and all this shit, and then he's fucking glorified for it. It's like, and this is what I mean. Like 80 million people. What I'm gonna keep saying this. 80 million people are just not gonna keep going to work on Monday. I'm telling you, man. When gas is $4 a gallon or bread is expensive, if it hit, I hope it doesn't happen. But if these policies start reflecting in other ways, we're not gonna just be going to work every day.
Yeah. Speaking of, we were kind of talking about terrible economics. Headlines. Janet Yellen suggests curtailing cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, saying they are mainly used for illegal financing.
Ooh.
Interesting. Good thing U.S. dollar is never used for anything illegal. Otherwise, you'd have to shut that down.
Yeah. I'm sure zero cocaine is blown out of Benjamin Franklin's nose.
Too much cocaine is used with the $100 bills and the dollar bills for the poorer of the cocaine users. Got to
They're
shut down the
attacking
U.S.
crypto.
dollar.
They're scared of it. They're scared
They're
of
absolutely
crypto.
scared of it because it's worth something.
Even if it's not worth something, it's a better investment than the petrodollar.
Mhm.
More secure. I mean,
That's
when
my
you're printing 55% out of every dollar is just newly printed money. That's not sustainable.
Definitely not. That's why cryptocurrency is worth something. It's because it's almost entirely based on the fact that people know our money is going to be worth. It's worth not much now. It's going to be worth way less later.
No, it's not worth $1 now. We just think it is.
Yeah.
The dollar doesn't have a dollar. That's why everything's getting more expensive. No, the dollar's becoming less valuable. There's a difference. There's a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah, milk doesn't just magically jump in price. It's the fact that your dollar buys less milk.
Yeah, we don't have a supply issue. Believe me, we don't.
No, we had the
abundant.
famous, specifically using milk, but we had the famous headline not too long ago where people were dumping out their milk because many reasons. One was because government regulations told them they had to dump it out instead of give it away. But there was too much milk to sell, and they had to dump it because they're not legally allowed to give it away to people.
They burn grain too, I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
And then the government pays them for their loss on their crop.
Yeah. Well, they can't do anything. I mean, they can't do anything. I mean, they have too much.
Well, David, what about the charity?
They can't donate it.
Just tax everybody and then just give people charity. It's charity to steal other people's money and give them like universal basic income as a stimulus check. That's charity. But giving them all my extra grain is not charity. That is illegal.
That's illegal. It's dangerous.
It's not charity to steal from somebody to give to somebody else. That's not charity. Rand Paul is. I remember him saying that charity is using your money, not other people's.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is my last of my headlines, and I mentioned we'd get more to this, but the spin machine is in full effect already. Headlines: Biden has, quote, bigger issues to worry about than following his own mask mandate. That was the whatever White House secretary, whatever the hell they're called, information, whatever. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. He's got bigger fish to fry than following his own laws. It's amazing that we're talking. He's the uniter. He's the great uniter. When it's it's very obviously us versus them. This isn't uniting anybody.
Isn't that fucking tyranny, David?
Oh, it would. Yes.
I thought we got rid of the fascists. We voted out the fascist dictator.
Yes, it's a great day for America.
It's crazy you vote out a dictator.
I just want people.
If terms are important, especially to that side. I mean, they ran how long that he's Nazi and white supremacist and
white
dictator and
alt-right,
QAnon head. Like, I mean, come on. If terms are so important, voting out, like the Babylon Bee had the the satire headline. Fascist dictator is forced to leave office. And then Biden, there was also that he had the 40 or the 20,000 troops there or whatever, and everything had a wall constructed. And they're like, yeah, when you're democratically appointed by the people, but you have to build a fortress to get sworn in as president,
Yeah. It's
like what?
The Great Uniter shouldn't need 25,000 National Guard people at his inauguration.
The Great Uniter makes it awfully seem like it is like the Hunger Games. The classist, the elitism.
I'm excited for the Hunger Games. I'm gonna fucking destroy the Hunger Games. I'm so pumped.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear with this shirt probably, my Bill's Chicken Wing shirt. All right, I got some things to gloss over. You said you're done with headlines.
Yeah, that was the last.
I'll round back. It doesn't surprise me that these pieces of shit are saying one thing and doing another. This has always been a thing in politics. I'm just glad it's on full display. And the problem is that people are tuning it off. Politics is important. People go and vote, and then they go turn it off for 4 years. This is how you destroy countries.
Yeah, I mean, how do we hold people accountable for their votes?
Well, you vote. You're supposed to vote them out, David.
Right? Like, hold on. We have apparently a record number of people voted for this guy. Now, when this goes south, which it will, what are they going to do about it?
Well, it was Trump's fault, Dave. Everything will be Trump's fault. Everything will be like we inherited a mess, just like the COVID thing. Oh, he's got a terrible plan. He's killing people's grandparents. Look at him. They run on that I'm not him. I have a plan, all this thing. They never unveil it. They just tell you to hate the guy. They get you to vote for the guy that says you hate the guy, even though they're relatively close in policy. And then he gets in there, he's like, yeah, I don't have a plan. It's going to take us a while.
Honestly, if they didn't spend, all election cycle trashing him over the COVID thing, I would have given him a pass because, quite frankly, I don't look for the president to solve virus issues.
Yeah, no. No, I don't look for the government to solve anything.
I don't expect him to be a medical expert. He's the president. It's not the federal government's job, period, first of all.
Speaking of that, I want to touch on Fauci's piece of shit ass. He said that he feels safe now because he can be guided by science and not politics.
Ooh. I'm glad he's safe.
So my question, when he was on 60 Minutes talking about, 6 months ago now, because I have a goldfish memory, I don't remember this. Post-election, he was on 60 Minutes talking about how, masks don't actually work. We don't need to wear a mask. And then everything changed. And then it came out that the reason he said that was there's not enough masks. And he didn't want scarcity and a supply shortage and all these other things. So the guy lies so that there's not panic to protect his own ass. Right? Mm. Right?
Are we supposed to believe that was because of politics?
Well, now he's guided by science. So he says something and there's a shortage. I'm glad we'll be able to say it will be by science. And looky-loosey, they're having shortage problems with your vaccine.
Mm.
And they're blaming the previous administration, of course, which could or not be true. But I've seen conflicting reports about that.
I thought we were guided by science now, not politics. It can't possibly be an administration's job to create vaccines.
I don't know, David. There's a shortage of vaccines. And they said it's Trump's fault.
Mm.
That's politics.
No, it's science, because he's not guided by politics. It must be science.
I'm confused, David.
That's the point.
Science, not politics, is literally double speak in a sentence. Because you're supposed to hold two opposite things in your head and believe them both to be true. Joe Biden, I have a plan. What's your plan? We can't do anything. Science-guided approach. Like what the previous administration was doing. It's almost like he had a science-based approach the first time. Such a science-based approach that it got a vaccine made in record timing, which I still don't believe. It's weird. Anyways, I'm going to move along here to Bill Gates, another piece of shit that I'm really proud of. He's buying up farmland at a record pace right now.
Why would he do that?
I don't know. I'm sure he's just really concerned about feeding the world.
Is that why? He's going to become a farmer. Bill Gates is going to be a farmer.
he also owns a lot of money in Monsanto, which makes genetically modified crops. So I wouldn't be surprised if he smashed those things together.
We're supposed to be guided by science, not politics, Ryan. Monsanto scientifically does not cause any issues.
David, Monsanto scientifically can cause politics to change. Monsanto is notorious for planting their seeds in an open field, and then bees cross-pollinate on other farmers' lands. And then Monsanto conveniently does a harvesting, like, hey, I think that's some of our genetically modified, copywritten crops. And they're like, hey, this is our plant. And then they can take it from the person. This would be called like probably corporate eminent domain or something. Corporate. Obviously, they're going after it through like copywritten material.
Why don't we just call it a corporate tax?
How about call it fucking theft? God damn it! I don't know why we have terms for thievery, and I'm supposed to enjoy it. It's fucking.
But
theft.
they're bees
taking money from my paycheck. You talk about how important it is for me to have stimulus money. But you take my fucking money every week. You take it. I said this last week. We probably could afford some of these fucking programs if we weren't trillions of dollars in goddamn debt. We probably could give everybody health care, and it wouldn't be fucking astronomically expensive. Because we would have had this, hopefully the system would be in place. And it's a problem with adding all this new things to government. Government hasn't even solved the thing that it was supposed to take care of 10 years ago. It's trying to fix a broken leg while it's running on it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what the government is. And we're entrusting more and more of it. So now it's got 2 broken legs it's trying to repair while it's running, and a broken arm that's trying to fix it with, and a broken back that's trying to haul it with. Like, we're just adding things to government that's so bloated and corrupt and bullshit that we're not. Your $300 stimulus check isn't going to be worth anything when they're printing more money to devalue the money that they're giving you. The money they're giving you is thieving you in the long run. And we said this about the Trump presidency, that he lowered taxes but increased spending. So you have more money now and less money later.
Yeah.
There's an Indian saying, I believe, a native saying, that only the white man thinks that he could cut one end of the blanket off and sew it on the other end and think he has a longer blanket.
Oh, that sounds very racist of the natives to say such a thing.
It's true, though.
That sounds like a native version of a Pollock joke.
Yeah, that's why I took that blanket that I cut in half and put smallpox on it. Christopher Columbus had magnifying glass to look at viruses and knew what he was doing.
Apparently, yes. They were so scientifically advanced that they could modify, bioengineer, chemical
It's weird. Christopher Columbus did biological warfare to kill the Native Americans, but China didn't do it to America to collapse our economy and expedite their way to the global stages.
No, that's a ridiculous assertion.
With their quantum computer that has 100 million times the power of any smart computer on Earth, and their next generation stealth bomber, and they want to build a global DNA bank.
Super soldiers.
Super soldiers. They're landing on the moon. Come on, man. They got the Great Wall over there. Like, come on, man.
Walls don't work.
Walls don't work. It's to keep out the aliens. Joe Rogan had some alien guy on that got abducted. I listened to part of it because I don't have Spotify, so I listened to a clip, and he talked about how like the aliens were like very weak, and it made me think that the reason, if aliens are real, because once again, my criteria for believing in aliens is I have to fuck and kill one.
I don't understand that standard.
It's mostly a joke, David. I just want to fuck. I just want to fuck an alien. Aliens don't have gender, so I'm not a misogynist in that.
In the alien world.
In that context,
we don't have genders either. You're just not forward thinking.
There's chemicals in the water that turn frogs gay. You're lying to me. Yeah, I actually just found the Harvard report or whatever, Berkeley report about it. Anyways, doubling back to the aliens. The guy talked about how the alien, he pushed him and the alien felt weak. Right? Maybe the aliens can't attack us because they're like a bunch of pussies. Like they're super weak and not strong because they're so advanced, right? They're so.
But
they
if they're so
talk
advanced, it doesn't matter their
fly.
physical attributes.
Yeah, exactly. But like if they were to come down and try to lift a gallon of milk, they wouldn't be able to do it.
So, to the point of the weak aliens, I'm going to go back to Bob Lazar. He had noted on the craft that he was in which the propulsion device he was in charge of reverse engineering, noted the craft had it was rather small. It had rather low roof line. It wasn't very tall because the creatures in his theory must have been rather smaller creatures. Maybe they are weak. Maybe they're little 2 foot tall, weak little, advanced bacteria.
Something that I thought was funny was the guy talked about a doorway, and Joe Rogan was like a regular doorway? He was like, yeah, like a regular doorway. Now, it sounds funny, but it isn't funny to think that, like, would aliens have doorways?
They don't like an open floor plan.
Well, it's just weird that you would think that something advanced, right? Like in our head of what they would still have doorways. Like you think of it as like a human invention of like this. It's very funny. It was very funny to me. But back to it. Apparently, the guy was given lie detectors and stuff, and his story checks out and everything. And I'm gonna say what I've said continuously. I need to fuck and kill an alien to believe.
Okay, so to the point of the lie detector.
Mm-hmm.
If this guy, and
you can fake lie detectors.
Sure. Let me be clear, because I've been the guy on the show who's pro-alien, and you're racist, anti-alien.
Yes.
If the guy had an experience that he truly believed in his mind, and I'm not doubting that he had an experience that he truly believed, it doesn't necessarily mean he was abducted by an alien. But if in his mind, mentally, he truly believes it, he'll pass a lie detector test. Because to him, he's not lying. This was true.
Supposedly, yeah.
That's why really, really good liars can beat lie detector tests. Because they actually...
Apparently they did like 7 people, because he like, there was like other areas of the story. I don't know everything about it, but all the guys passed. He had a psychic evaluation to see if he like had psychosis, and everything checked out that the guy was relatively healthy and mentally sound. So it's just supposed to add credibility to the story. You know my criteria, David. Moving on here. Trump, before he left, pardoned a bunch of people. Lil Wayne was on the list. I bring up Wayne in particular because Tucci called up the president. It was like, yeah, I'll endorse you if you pardon me for my felony.
Also on the list,
possession.
Rapper Kodak Black,
who also was supposed to be in jail for a while.
The rap community is definitely behind Trump.
Now you know why Ice Cube hit him up.
The pardon list. You want to get into I don't have the specifics of everybody.
Steve Bannon was pardoned.
Yeah.
People were hoping he would do Stalin, Edward Snowden, and Juliana Assange. But
Juliana Assange. Yeah, I was going to say there were a couple notably missing people from the list. One of the people, I'd posted it in our messages. Unfortunately, one of the people who did not get a pardon was Joe Exotic, Tiger King. Apparently, he had a stretch ram pull up to the prison for when he was going to get pardoned. Can I point out that Joe Exotic is just a great American?
Only in America could you get famous for being a meth-addicted, homosexual, multi-husband marrying, tiger community supporting, assault rifle packing, redneck loving, zoo keeping person.
All jokes aside, Joe Exotic, throw the Carole Baskin thing out. Joe Exotic should still, at the very least, face criminal charges for killing, endangered tigers and things like that. I don't think that people should be allowed to just murder animals that are endangered. Call me a communist if you may. At least have a limit, once a year or something. You can kill one tiger a year.
There's only a couple tigers.
Finding 7 in your backyard is a little.
I mean, he could have let him go.
Yeah. Just release the tigers. Yeah.
Carol Baskin. I saw a thing. Carol Baskin came out and said that the Tiger King documentary damaged her credibility.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, it's weird how the media can fuck people over, isn't it?
No, you don't say. You don't say. The media has power.
It's weird how public opinion is swayed by some fucking powerful media companies.
That was
funny. It's funny we're talking about social media as a monopoly, but we're not talking about how 5 media companies own literally 99% of the media you consume. That's not a monopoly at all.
To that point,
just 5 big ones.
One Netflix documentary changed this person's life entirely, like to her public perception of her. Could you imagine what every single news media outlet can do over decades? That was one Netflix show. Imagine facing the media for decades. They want to talk about the Republican Party fell apart. You don't say. Shocking.
Yeah, speaking of that, people are saying that Trump, trying to create the Patriot Party. Basically the GOP is dying. I'm going to go on record right here, and I will not be registering as a Republican going forward.
I'm not. No.
I registered at 16 so I could vote in the primary. I was too late. I did not know that at the time, so I've just stayed registered Republican so that I could vote. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if I have representation in the state of New York. They can go fuck themselves. I'm done voting for them. I'm writing in every spot is going to get written for myself. They can fuck themselves. I'm done with the GOP. I will be registering as a patriot. I'm not registering as the Patriot Party. I'm not going to be affiliated with anybody. I'm registering as a patriot. I may maybe register as a December Nation, quite frankly.
Ooh, we could start our own political party.
We are a political party, Dave. We are an idea. We are a culture.
I think I've said this before on the program. In Pennsylvania, I am what's considered other. I'm registered other.
You can still vote in state primaries, correct?
Don't remember if I can in Pennsylvania. I thought
New York,
Pennsylvania was
you have to be one of the major parties in that state to vote in the primary. Not major, rather acknowledged party. Rather.
Yeah, but actually, we have to double check this. I don't know because in 16, if I'm not mistaken, I did vote for Cruz in a primary. But I don't remember in 16 if that was in New York or Pennsylvania.
Well, you were in New York for 16, at least 15.
Yeah.
So, trudging along here. I touched on the COVID vaccine, and the new strand may not be compatible. So we'll see. Immigration reform on Biden. We touched on that. Biden sworn in as president. Yeah, the only thing I got left here is Bernie Sanders becoming an internet sensation once again. He wore those dumbass gloves. I gotta admit, honestly, it was super funny. He did look hilariously funny. It was I don't want to say it was a heartfelt moment and everything, and people are saying, "Oh, Bernie's bringing everybody together." I'm glad that we can be distracted from the guy with an ugly set of gloves on and sitting in the cold and social distancing when they're literally raping your country from underneath you. And, there's some other China news in the headlines this week that I didn't have time to look into. But, yeah, they're old normal. We're gonna stick to this. I'm at the point I hate all politicians again, so. That was at bay for Trump for a little bit because I had a little bit of hope in some of the policies and changing some things and status quo. But that, they even said we're going back to the old normal. So textbook usual politicians, while they're distracting us with Bernie Sanders and his gloves, they're signing immigration reform when 40 million people have no job and are losing everything. And you have trouble giving us $600 checks and $2,000 checks and, but you can pass sweeping, I mean, these are their terms too. Sweeping immigration reform. Oh, that's weird. I would have known that would have been his plan. It's weird. If he would have put that on his plan for his first 100 days, I don't think people would have voted for him. I think if they saw Donald Trump's plan, which was America first, and then if they were to look at Joe Biden's 100-day plan, be like, oh, he wants to fix immigration in his first 100 days. What about America?
Maybe. What about social distancing? Why don't you stay 6 feet away in your country? Don't come here
Go
with
back to the shithole. Yeah, how are we letting people in the country? I thought it was, New York and everything. We talked about this before, that all these Democratic states have borders set up to stop COVID and spread. I thought borders were racist and everything. It's just like you can't. Multiple things can be true, but some things you can't have both things be true. You know what I mean? And that's where doublespeak comes from in 1984 in Orwell. Like, you're holding these things are lies that contradict each other, but you believe them. So it's just like this will be, I make a prediction, this will be a reoccurring theme, and we will continually see double-sided news segments from every. CNN is going to start telling the truth more, but then they're going to lie just as hard too. So the headline segment is definitely going to be a very crucial thing going forward in the Biden presidency. And we're going to hopefully be able to maintain the headline segment, because if not, we may, I've heard for years now, copyright infringements about using headlines and stuff. So we'll see if we'll even be able to do that segment in the future.
Perfect. Copyright it, and I will change one word in the headline. Nice. Have fun.
Patents,
Have fun with your
baby.
copyrights.
David, that's kind of all I had. I'm just going to say, that's on, we're going to hold you to fire, people. We're going to look at it. I hope that, I hope the Democrats are kind of eating their own too, with Biden's picks, a lot of progressive. There was an Antifa, they stormed one of the Democratic Party centers in Oregon, I think. And they basically said that we don't fucking want Biden. So, the myth party Antifa is just an idea. They're anti-fascist. Well, they torched the Democratic Party headquarters in one of these states. So I think it's symbolic. The left is eating their own. Just like a couple of weeks ago, AOC was shit-talking Pelosi and how she's establishment. But then she votes to make Pelosi Speaker of the House again. These people, they're elitist.
AOC,
do as I say.
She has done that on a number of occasions where she comes out and says something. It's like, okay, all right, I respect that. And then she does the polar opposite. And it's like, well, then why'd you even say it?
Well, and we know this because that first one, that's basically a retraction, right? If Nancy Pelosi's garbage, boom, blows up. Oh my God, AOC is great. All right. And then when she votes for Pelosi, that's buried in the headlines. Mm-hmm. The public opinion doesn't get the truth. The grapevine has lies. You got to separate that poison fruit from that media.
Yeah. To that point, to that point, AOC was not pro-Biden. And then she was.
It's weird.
It's just amazing how that.
Neither was Kamala Harris, and now Joey did it. Sure, they won't disagree at anything. God forbid Biden I'm just gonna step aside.
Oh yeah, that's right. If they have any fundamental disagreements, he's gonna say he has a disease and leave.
Most powerful man in the world bending over to his VP. It was supposed to be the other way around. But whatever. Let's get into the Decembertainment. VP is supposed to be ceremonial, but who gives a rat's ass? All right, David, do you have anything for Decembertainment this week?
Nope.
All right. I probably actually have two things. First thing, I started watching a Netflix movie with a friend. There's another science fiction dystopian style movie. Did not watch the whole movie because it was late at night. But I will say I caught about 35 minutes of it. It is called I Am Mother, I believe. It's on Netflix. And basically, you ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
It's I feel bad for my friends that I watch these movies with because I can't shut the fuck up. These dystopian movies that I literally see my life. Like, I see 2021 in fucking a movie that's basically about the death of humanity and the downfall of society. Like, I can't shut the fuck up. And you know what? I predicted the movie.
You called it.
A robot raises a girl. The robot has like a bunch of human embryos. And then she pulls one out and grows it in like a freaking hyperbolic chamber. It grows and then it trains it. And basically, it's exactly as you would expect a robot mother would be, void of all empathy and emotion. The movie's super funny to me because they talk about something we talk about here about socialized medicine. And they talk about what happens if you could save 5 people with one person's organs. Instead of saving that one person, you could save 5 people with their organs. What is more better for the community? Socialized medicine. Of course, the government's going to pick save 5 people instead of save one person. Because in the eyes of this robot, in the eyes of government, their individuality, is something that, I don't know, maybe that's granted to by the government. Anyways, the point of the movie, I don't know what happens at the end, but this girl grows up thinking she's the only human. Until there's a knock on the outside door and she finds a human. Because the robot mother told her that a virus outside has made life unlivable. The girl finds a rat, a mouse that chews some electrical wire and turns all the lights in the facility off. So she has to repair it, right? This robot made this girl super smart in mathematics and physics and science. It's very clever. I want to finish the film. But she shows the robot mother, like, oh, this is what happened. She's like, I thought you said outside wasn't livable. She's like, did you touch it? You're like, no. Okay. She puts it in an incinerator and kills the mouse and says, yeah, outside is uninhabitable. So my point is, it was kind of it would be a hard pill to swallow for some people, I think, watching a movie like that. I enjoyed it for what I watched it. But yeah, movies like that I can't shut the hell up about because they're just so, I feel like it's just so fragrant in your face. There was an area that she was doing surgery on the girl and she had a face mask on. It was just like all these things. And, it really shows you basically, to me, what it really shows you is like what you give up. What you give up when you no longer allow the individual to define itself. And this is something we do in our society. We talk about how the government gives you rights of healthcare or gives you rights to go to the bathroom of your choosing, but they take your real rights. They take your freedom of speech. They take your freedom to defend yourself. They take your right to due process in a jury trial and your papers. And they'll take the real freedoms that we have that government is supposed to protect, that is not supposed to cross. They got those and they give us the fake ones. And, it really reminded me, this mother robot, this one that, I just want the best for you. I just want you to be the perfect human, the best human. There is no perfect human. And my theory with the movie is, because the girl asks about siblings, and she's like, I've never raised a person before. So before I raise more people, I want to make sure I raise a good person. Robot will never think that a person is perfect. You know what I mean? Like, that's like where this, in my head, I keep going, like, that robot isn't going to regrow humanity. That robot is going to just raise one human at a time and then be like, that wasn't perfect. Next time, I'm going to do this different. And it's going to do that for millions of years if it's allowed to. You know what I mean? A robot, an artificial intelligence robot, is not going to rebirth humanity. But the girl finds another human, and that's kind of as far as I got. But it's called Mother, I Am Your Mother, something along that lines on Netflix. Pretty cool. And then my other thing, Decembertainment, I was just reading some Batman comics this week. I don't have one in particular. I flipped through a couple. But I just really, I took the time to myself to really try to enjoy them this week. What I mean to say is it was a welcome distraction, especially with the switch of presidency and some of the stuff in this week's news was kind of not aggravating or frustrating, but there's a lot to digest with the change with the passing of the torch. So it was a welcoming distraction, and I've been looking forward to the football games all week as well because I need some Decembertainment to get me through it.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's what I got. I hope the Bills win today. Go Bills! And I know you wanted to do our football predictions. So do you want to do both games or just the one?
Do both.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Packers, Buccaneers. I'm ready for this. Super excited.
The GOAT versus the MVP.
Yeah, that's what some people would look at it as. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, I think, are the best team in football. They're incredible. I mean, they're really something special to watch. But something people haven't paid attention to is in the last 6 games, Tom Brady has actually outplayed Aaron Rodgers statistically.
Really good too.
So, I think Green Bay still has a better team, but Tampa, I wouldn't totally count Tampa Bay out. I wouldn't be totally shocked if Tampa Bay won. But
you're not
chatting
out Brady.
With that said,
spoken like a true AFC watcher that have seen Brady literally come across and destroy every team on TV for 20 years.
It's really hard to bet against him, but I'm going to do it. Green Bay, they're going to win 37-20.
Cool. All right.
37-20. Green Bay. Okay. They're going to roll. But I would not be shocked to see the other.
Okay, and what about Mahomes and arguably the two best young quarterbacks in the league?
They're definitely the two best in the AFC, no doubt. And they're all top, they're probably top 3 any way you look at it. This is just going to be a homer pick, because quite frankly, if I was to look at this with analytics and statistics, I would probably take Kansas City. But the Bills are going to the Super Bowl.
God damn it, Bills! Go
34-30. Bills are taking it. When you see this, when this episode airs Monday at 7, as the weekly show always does, these predictions could be true or they could be false. They could be half true. We'll see.
All right, David, I'll give you my predictions. Here's what I want to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. I want the Bills to win. Go Bills. I think it's going to be a close game, going to be hard, but I'm really hoping for Allen to put on. I'm hoping for a good game. I don't want it to be a blowout, but I don't want Kansas City to win. I really don't. I really want to see Bills go to the Super Bowl in my lifetime. Even though I was alive for the beginning, but to see the progress of the team, and I've seen football. I've spent the last 8 years of my life following football, and the Bills lately have been a good distraction for me. It'd be awesome. But I want Brady to go to the Bowl.
You want Bills versus Brady. You're a psychopath.
Yes, and I say this because Brady moved out this season, right? He started on the Bucs. So the Bills shut the Pats out. We shut Belichick, right? So we beat Belichick. Okay, great. That's great. No Brady. All right. Brady has been thing in our division for decades. Okay, so we beat Belichick twice. Shut our division out. Great. That's awesome. Ice the division. Perfect. Okay. Go to the playoffs. Beat Lamar and the Ravens. He was last year's MVP. So we beat last year's MVP. If we go and beat the Chiefs, that would be arguably Patrick Mahomes, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever in football. That'd be cool.
He was the MVP 2 years ago.
Okay, so old MVP and everything else. But I just think it would be so great for Allen to slay these. It'd be Thanos, dude. It'd be like the Infinity Gauntlet. For
the Infinity Stones. Belichick, Lamar, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and then you go to the Bowl.
And you got to do it again.
You beat
either
Brady
got Rodgers or Petey.
You beat Brady at home because the Bowl is at Tampa Bay this year.
Yeah.
So go beat Mahomes at home, beat Brady at home. Not only do you slay all those MVPs, not only do you put Bill's franchise on your back, not only do you have the tied for the best records and all these records they broke, but you could go and slay the GOAT for the Bills fans and say, fuck Brady. Because it was never able to happen for Bills fans, for Brady versus the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl after Brady destroyed us for decades. Yeah. Let Brady go to the Bowl with a new team and then Allen go and fucking go Bills. God damn it.
I like it.
That's it, man. It's been Dave and Ryan from December 1773. This is the weekly show. Thanks, everybody, for sticking around. If you like the content, share it. Stay subscribed to our channel. And, oh, my God, I don't mean to jump in at the end here. I just want to touch on this. Last headline here. They're talking for the deplatforming of Trump supporters. Okay?
Cleansing, yes.
I would argue it's already done considering Parler is closed. So they've already deplatformed Trump supporters, and we're just used to it now. We'll see where this goes. Yeah, sorry. Stay locked to the channel, goddammit. December Nation, love you. Love you, David. Go Bills. See you next week.
We'll see you next week. Let's hope we're right in our predictions.
Oh.
All right. See ya. Thanks, everyone.
Peace, dude. Bye, everybody. Thank you.